Yo, what is up everybody, it's Jay, and welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today we got yet another hypothetical scenario matchup video by the great Swagkage. And as you can tell by the title, that is Nagato versus Tobirama. So folks, this one is actually quite interesting, because on one side, we got Nagato, aka Pain, who had various amazing showcases in the various battles that he participated in, right? The one against Sage Mode Naruto, spectacular. Able to go toe to toe with up to the 6-tail cloak of the 9 tails. Very impressive stuff. On the other hand, you got Tobirama Senju, right? His power scaling is a little bit more iffy, because on one hand, as we all know, he died at the hands of Ginkaku and Kinkaku, who had a pathetic debut in the war arc against Daru and company, looking like complete idiots, right? When they were quote unquote the leaders of this S-rank crew that took out Tobirama. It really didn't seem like that to me. Maybe Kishimoto should have wrote them better, or I don't know. It just doesn't look good. It didn't make Tobirama look good. But on the other hand, when he was introduced into the war arc, he looked extremely intimidating, extremely imposing to the point where Orochimaru was worried that he was going to break out of the reanimation jutsu. Also, he was able to tag Jubito a couple times with his amazing battle strategizing mind, with his own flying Raijin working with Naruto and Minato. Very impressive. That makes him look spectacular, right? But again, it's iffy. So because of that, I'm actually very, very interested to see how Swag is going to approach this one. Before we begin, and let's really appreciate, hit that like button, turn on notification to stay updated with yours truly. And if you're new and you enjoy a Mess with the Kid, man, be sure to hit that sub button, because once you do, become part of the family forever. But let's not waste more time, screen. Let's see what Swag has to say today.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage
What up?
here, and welcome to today's video. With me, I don't have Clyde or Seth. I have somebody else
Okay.
I've never recorded a video with. This is my buddy Scotty. He doesn't upload a whole bunch of shit on his channel.
All right.
I actually think he has like one video, and it's a little Naruto meme. His Twitter is @ScottyUwu, so go follow him. You know, if you like dank memes, I guess.
All right.
But yeah, he knows what he's talking about, when it comes to Naruto versus battles, debates, all that. So no need to worry. The video is still going to be up to snuff. Yeah, we're talking about Tobirama versus Nagato. I don't really know how to segue into any of this. So what do you think? Who do you think would win?
Well, if it's against Nagato and Tobirama, we're talking about, the literal second Hokage who invented a bunch of jutsu.
Correct.
The most proficient water style user against...
Fair enough.
The most experienced Rinnegan user.
Yeah, who also has all 5 nature transformations.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Well,
By
it's
the age of
never
10.
it's never stated in the manga, but apparently, like, it's implied somewhere. I've heard people mention this before, that Nagato created the tags that Team Guy ran into, that like created the doppelgangers of them. And like, if that's the case, he kind of stomps fucking anybody. But
Jesus. That's a good point.
Yeah, I won't bring those up in this debate.
Yeah, that's somewhat conspicuous. I wouldn't use that.
The only thing we see Nagato using is like wind style Gale Palm, and then all his Rinnegan abilities.
Correct.
That's really about it. So
That's really disappointing though, because I would have liked to see Nagato use like more jutsu. He's definitely capable of it.
Right,
It would
right.
make him, like easily top 3 tier characters.
Absolutely.
Good point.
But the thing is, like we mentioned earlier, he's easily the most experienced Rinnegan user, and like, this is shown pretty well to the audience because like Madara and Obito, well, Obito doesn't use like any Rinnegan abilities, though it's stated that he can. Madara uses a couple, but he doesn't use like the Asura path or even the animal path or any of that, whereas Nagato takes full advantage of his eyes.
Correct.
He just fondled Naruto and B at the same time, because he had Naruto, he was about to rip his soul out, then B came in to save Naruto, and Nagato used the Asura path to sprout out extra arms. Yeah, he just choke held B right in the air, and about the exact same shit to him. It was pretty terrible. Like, he got movement in his legs back by like absorbing version 2 cloak chakra. It was so ridiculous. If not for the fact that Itachi used Koto Matsukami on himself, Naruto and B would have got fucking eradicated.
Yeah, they probably would have died. Yeah.
That was the first opponent. That was the first set of opponents that they went up against too, and like, they spent so long convincing Tsunade and the Raikage to go out there, and then immediately they fight Nagato.
Yeah, immediately they get their ass beat.
They're like hyping themselves up. Naruto like speed blitzes the Raikage. He's like, "Yeah, guys, I've got this. Don't worry about it." they go out there and immediately just get fucked by Nagato. Like,
Yeah.
it's good to mention though that like Jinchuriki are stronger than the tailed beasts. Like
Yeah.
once the tailed
Correct.
beasts inside them.
That is correct.
And that's literally the 8 tails.
Right. Yeah.
Nagato is easily stronger than the literal 8 tails and half of the 9
Well, B
tails.
didn't go full 8 tails mode, so you could make a debate about that. And Naruto wasn't using his QB avatar, but I think that QB mode, like KCM2 full Kurama avatar Naruto, is way stronger than the base half of the 9.
I agree completely. I agree.
And I feel like version 2B would put up a decent fight against the 8 tails. I don't know if he's stronger than him, but that's not relevant because the gap between his power and B's power was fucking enormous, alright? Like, he just
It was
stopped him
huge.
dead in his tracks. So, Nagato has... I mean, he just pulled off a whole bunch of ludicrous nonsense shit in the fight against Itachi, Naruto, and B. Whereas with Tobirama, well, we actually don't have a whole lot of feats for either of these characters, but Tobirama in particular, it's not really, like, clarified what he's capable of using. He did make a whole lot of different jutsu, but I know he's invented more than the jutsu that the audience has seen him use. And or like the jutsu that it's stated that he created, but the ones we know he has, like the big 3 that he created were Shadow Clones, Flying Thunder God, and Edo Tensei. And now Edo Tensei is not really much of a factor in this battle because
He sucked at it.
yeah, well, it wasn't that he
Everyone else
sucked
who
at it.
used it was better.
It wasn't that he
Basically.
sucked at it. It was just that it wasn't refined. Orochimaru
Correct.
took the base,
He was the
built it
founder,
and then Kabuto
but it was not yet very refined.
And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what? This needs to be even better. Like,
Right.
Yeah, and he
Kabuto
made the
did
most
the same
broken
shit,
jutsu ever. So, Edo Tensei is not really a factor, but Tobirama has all of his water release jutsu and all that. And I guess his
Yeah.
elemental stuff isn't really going to matter against Nagato because
You can just
it's
absorb it like immediately.
well, it's not just that he can absorb it, but he can also counter it with any of his Earth style jutsu. Because it is stated that Nagato not only learned how to use each of the nature transformations, he mastered all 5 of them.
age
Yeah,
10.
yeah,
Like at age 10, so he's had years of mastery over them too.
exactly.
That's a lot of experience.
The thing is, he crippled himself, and so he didn't use many of these jutsu at all. He just used all of the Rinnegan powers through the 6 paths of pain, and because he didn't have a mobile body, so he might not be as good at using those nature transformation jutsu. But still, it's worth pointing out that he has those. But anyway, so basically the thing that is going to come down. But by the way, I don't think we clarified this earlier, but it's alive Nagato versus alive Tobirama, and
Alive primes.
Right.
Like no Edo,
Mhm.
just alive.
Edo would be very strange. I think Nagato
That's
end up
hard,
sealing Tobirama in an Edo Tensei, though. I mean, not an Edo Tensei, a Chibaku
In a
Tensei.
Chibaku Tensei.
I'm retarded. No, so what Tobirama has to deal with is Chibaku Tensei, Chaotic Shinra Tensei, the Asura Path, Bansho Tensei. Like, he has to deal with all of these.
Yeah, those would be a big problem.
Jutsu. And granted, he does have a whole bunch. Like, Flying Thunder God Slash was able to take out Izuna, who was supposedly around Madara level, and this is a much weaker Madara, right?
Correct.
Like, this
That was,
is like
Madara during warring stage.
Yeah, he was
yeah,
still
that's like
a young man.
At best, half the strength of War Arc Madara.
I agree.
So, I guess the strength there isn't really relevant. It's the fact that Tobirama could FTG to Nagato and then just cut right through him with a sword. But I feel like he would be able to Shinra Tensei that because he was going toe-to-toe with KCM Naruto, who was stated to have equaled Minato in speed and outsped the 4th Raikage, like the fastest shinobi alive next to Minato.
That's a good point.
So,
That's fair
there's-
parascaling as well. I agree with
the thing
that.
is, Tobirama's fast because he can teleport, but outside of
fast,
teleportation, he doesn't have very high combat speed. I'm not gonna say he's not fast. He can't move his arms more quickly than a regular Jonin level fighter
Yeah,
or a
he's
Chunin level
definitely
fighter or
fast.
whatever. But he's not like Minato,
he's not Minato,
like Raikage, KCM. Yeah, exactly. He's not that fast.
Right.
So Nagato would be able to, Shinra Tensei him away, or even worse, if he
grab
tries to
him.
catch him from the side, he just grabs him with the Asura Path. I also
then
don't think
uses the
Tobirama
Rinnegan.
has any knowledge of
Rinnegan.
the Rinnegan because he wasn't
Yeah.
alive anywhere near long enough to see any of that shit. So it's like,
He learned about it when he got reanimated and
Yeah.
saw people using its ability. So
yeah,
there's
exactly.
definitely-
Like he wouldn't be. I guess if they went in with knowledge, it'd be different, and he would probably try and figure out
People
what he
probably
could and
figure
couldn't
out
do.
a way.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if he's invented so many jutsu, he's got to be smart enough to counter the Rinnegan
Right.
with some sort of strategy.
Right.
but if he goes in with no knowledge, Nagato probably fondles him. It's
Yeah, he just there's nothing like he could do effectively. I can see him like teleporting and like trying to phase Nagato out, and then he like teleports behind him or some shit. Could universal pull him,
Yeah.
grab him, and then just extract his soul. Like
Exactly. He could use the the paper bombs that spawn more paper bombs, mutually multiplying exploding tags, but like I don't.
Shinra Tensei.
Yeah, Shinra Tensei. That's all that is. The best strategy that he has, I think, is the ability to use a bunch of shadow clones and then have them FTG spam. But I mean, I don't know how effective that would be because he needs to be able to take Nagato out in CQC. I don't think he
Yeah.
has any large scale enough ranged jutsu that would be able to bypass Shinra Tensei. And even if they could, Nagato could just absorb them. So like this is really tough. Like he has to get close, and it's like the only reason to Lost was because he was sealed at a range by the Totsuka blade.
Which
That's
is
it.
like the
Yeah.
most OP attack that like you can hit someone with.
Exactly.
It's
You
the only
can't.
way
I don't
Right.
think you can absorb Totsuka blade either. It's a bit weird.
It's like ethereal, so like
Yeah.
no idea.
The Bringer of Darkness technique, that Infinite Darkness Genjutsu.
Oh yeah.
But I believe that was
Rinnegan.
anime only. And anyway, Nagato can sense people's chakra, and the Rinnegan can see chakra, so it wouldn't really matter much. But I guess it's a pretty simple
Okay.
conversation. Leave you guys' thoughts about it in the comments below. Maybe
Yeah, this
I
is
don't
a
know
very
shit
tough one.
about Tobirama. Maybe Scotty doesn't either. There's really not much to explore with what he's capable
Correct.
of. And with Tobirama, a lot of the time
It's tough.
people
This
are
is a tough
on
one. Really
side
is.
of a fence. It's like either they think Tobirama's Jesus and he's like nigh Hashirama level, and
Right.
there's no one who can fucking beat him. And there's people who are just like, he's probably like the weakest Hokage. And I'm like, I think he's stronger than Hiruzen, but that's really about it.
Right.
You wouldn't know though unless you got like more, screen time. There's not enough.
Yeah, there isn't much screen time on him.
What he's capable
But then again, there isn't a lot of screen time on many of the Hokage.
died to like a squad of Jonin to protect like
It was like 20 S rank ninja or something crazy
Yeah.
though, so
like people would like to downplay Tobirama for that.
Yeah.
But
no.
that's 20 S rank ninja.
And the Kinkaku or the Kinkaku force might have been composed of a bunch of shinobi, including Kinkaku and Ginkaku, who
Yeah,
were
most
supposed to
likely.
be absurdly powerful. So there's a chance of that. Like they ate their way out of the Nine Tail.
Right.
They literally had Nine Tails chakra because they ate their way out of it. Like they bit the Nine Tails from the inside. So Tobirama
fucking
isn't exactly weak.
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot different if Tobirama had maybe taken the time to learn Sage Mode.
Right. Yeah.
But
But he was just like, nah,
It-
fuck that.
like my brother got that. There's no.
Good point. He never did learn it.
A million jutsu that I would really use anyway.
Yeah. But like I said, leave you guys' thoughts in the comments below. Check out Scotty.
This was an interesting video.
I
Interesting
guess
video.
Go like the one video.
Good video, Swag, as always.
And yeah, till my next video. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out, Swag. Alright, there you guys have it. I do want to give my thoughts on this one. This is an interesting one, man. I'm going to say this. I agree with Swag. There's definitely two sides to the coin when it comes to Tobirama. There's a side that really puts emphasis on how shitty Kinkaku and Ginkaku looked when they made their debut in the War Arc as reanimations. They looked like shit. They really did. Daro, we took care of them. I mean, in what world did we think Daro was relative to Tobirama? Like, if he took care of them, and they were the leader of these 20 ranked S Jonin, right? They don't look that formidable. They really don't. They lost to fucking Darwi. Like, I don't know. That just makes him look terrible. And on the other side of the coin, they put emphasis on how Tobirama looked in the War Arc when he made his debut, right? When Orochimaru reanimated him along with the other three Hokage. He looked like a fucking beast. He looked like a monster. He was able to tag Jubito, who's way stronger than both of these characters in this scenario. He was able to tag the guy. He was intelligent. He was a good leader. He had a lot of very unique jutsu up his sleeve, such as that one paper bomb one that keeps exploding or some shit like that. That was very, very creative. And it shows his reaction times. It shows all that. So if you put emphasis on that and you use those feats and the statements and the expressions on characters' faces when they see him, I honestly think you can make a case that he can beat Nagato. I really do. I really do. If his reaction times are adequate enough to even tag Jubito, right? Granted, Jubito was fighting several people at once. I'll give you that. But the fact that he was even able to tag the guy, you can make an argument, right? If you're using headcanon, that his reaction time probably is superior to Nagato's, right? I don't think in any world we think, oh, Nagato's faster than Jubito. If you use that, maybe you really can Flying Thunder God Nagato before he can even react. There is that argument to be made. On the other side, if you go to the other side of the coin and emphasize how bad Ginkaku and Kinkaku looked, then Tobirama really wouldn't be Nagato, right? Because Nagato, as quoted by Kabuto, was the second strongest reanimation after Madara, right? He was obviously wrong because he admitted himself, I underestimated Itachi. That's another discussion. You can take that statement as you want it. It has several interpretations, but an interpretation is, oh, Itachi was superior to Nagato. That's why he was able to seal Nagato, but that's another discussion. All right, so the point is, if you're taking that interpretation of it, Nagato would overwhelm Tobirama with his various Rinnegan abilities, right? Ripping his soul out, Shinra Tensei, Chibaku Tensei, Bansho Tennin, the Osteopath, the summonings, all that shit would be a problem for Tobirama. As far as the Bringer of Darkness Genjutsu, I don't know if it would work. I kind of go with Swag's take on it. It probably wouldn't because the Rinnegan can't see chakra. So I think even if he can't see, physical reality, right, like what's in front of him, he'll see the chakra. I think he'll see that. But my take on this personally is it wouldn't be easy for Nagato to beat Tobirama. It wouldn't be easy. Tobirama has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. As far as reaction times, my take is Nagato is faster. It's definitely prime, and this is my take on it. This is how I think of it. Tobirama is inferior to Minato as far as speed. He literally admitted it himself when Minato and Tobirama and Hiruzen arrived on the battlefield in the war arc. He said, hey, you're even faster than I am with the Flying Raiji, right? So that he's admitting that he's slower. Minato, in his prime, was the fastest, right? And once KCM1 Naruto came out, when he outsped the fourth Raikage before going to the battlefield to face Edo Nagato and Edo Itachi, the fourth Raikage said, oh, this guy passed me up, right? He's relative to his own father now, right? And when that Naruto fought Nagato was keeping up with the guy and almost ripped his fucking soul out. He almost ripped his goddamn soul out and bees. So from that, transitively, you can imply that Nagato has superior reaction times to Tobirama. If you use those steps, right, you can transitively imply that, right? You can do that. But due to power scaling inconsistency, again, you can go on back to the other side of the coin and say, hey, Tobirama was able to tag Jubito. Jubito was stronger than everyone on the battlefield, and he was able to tag the guy. Right, so there's two sides of the coin. But my take is this. Nagato, I think, is faster than Tobirama. I think that holds more consistently in my eyes, power scaling wise. I don't think it would be easy for Nagato to beat the guy. The guy is very, very creative, very unique, has very unique abilities. Probably would give Nagato some problems, right? And let's say he's using the Path of Pain. Tobirama probably would destroy a couple of them. Maybe get to 3 or 4. But I think once he gets to Tendo, right, it would be a problem. And if he fights Prime Nagato, right, I think it's going to be even a bigger problem. I think he's even more powerful. So my take is Nagato wins more times than not. Again, if you want to put emphasis on how Tobirama looked in the war arc, which was godly, I don't blame you, man. I really don't. We all have our interpretations. But I'm going based off the most consistent trend that I see amongst these characters, right? And I go based off the transitive implications power scaling wise, and transitively it's easier to imply Nagato has superior reaction times to Tobirama. It just holds. It really does, in my opinion, right? KCM1 is superior to the Raikage. It's implied that he is either relative or superior to his own dad Minato. Minato is superior to Tobirama. Nagato was superior to that Naruto when they were fighting and almost tore his soul out. That makes sense to me, right? That holds to me. So that's my take on it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this matchup. This is a very ambiguous one, and it's definitely left up to your own interpretation. You can debate it, right? It's definitely debatable. My take is even debatable. I think mine's a pretty good take, to be honest with you. I think Swag's is pretty good as well. But let me know, do you disagree or do you agree? Let me know in the comments. I'm always intrigued to see what you guys have to say. If you guys have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments section below. And I'll catch you in the next video. It's Joe the Geek signing out. Peace.